It's great to meet you, Dale. Tell me, why do you think that green issues have been almost absent from this election?
I lament the fact that green issues have been largely missing. For me, they're the biggest issues that we have to face, actually. How we get our energy in the next few years and how we do that while fighting climate change. They're just fundamental. And wrapped into that, you've got the issue of our green economy, which is a massive opportunity for us as we shift away from burning fossil fuels into this new industrial revolution, really.
We haven't heard much from Labour during the election about renewable energy. Do you think that they're sincere about it?
Yeah, I believe they're very sincere. I've seen the Green Manifesto, the commitment, for example, to have another 1 million jobs in the green economy in the next 10 years. That's a doubling of the sector. I think that's very important. They came out 6 or 8 months ago, I think, in the media supporting onshore wind at a time when it was being attacked again. I think the commitment to renewable energy is clear, and to fighting climate change, actually. I think there's no doubt in my mind that of the major parties, they're the most committed.
What's been the record of the Conservative government over the last 5 years?
It's been poor, actually. We all recall Cameron pledging to run the greenest government ever and hugging his huskies and that kind of stuff. And I think over the course of the 5 years, we've seen that unravel one piece at a time. You know, midway through the term, we were kind of saying to ourselves, well, what's quite happening here? You know, there was all talk of changing planning regulations to make planning harder for wind. Feed-in tariffs and renewable obligations were cut, the ecosystem for energy efficiency as well. We got to the end of the term and Cameron's talking about green crap, saying we need to cut the green crap, and now has said he'll end onshore wind if he gets re-elected. So I think it's been a complete U-turn by his government.
How has this government affected your progress in developing renewable energy?
Well, they've made it very difficult for us, actually. Specifically, Eric Pickles intervened in the planning process probably in the last 12 months of this government. He began to do that. He called in wind decisions, primarily wind. I think he may have interfered in about 50 of them so far. He just turns them down. He's done it a number of times against public inquiry decisions, against local authority decisions. It's been done for political reasons, and it's a massive intervention in the planning system, calls the planning system into disrepute, really. And it means that as a developer, you can't have confidence that as long as you do the job right, you'll get a fair decision at the end, because he's taken that away.
Why do you think they've taken against onshore wind? Is it an ideological issue?
Yeah, I think it is ideological, but there's politics in it as well. Cameron's party is clearly split. There are a lot of people in it that are anti-wind and climate skeptics, and the rise of UKIP has really put the pressure on him, and he's responded to that. And I think that's the thing that's driven him into this big U-turn, really, the rise of UKIP and the splits in his own party. And in that respect, he put his party before our country, which is a shameful abdication of responsibility. And I hope that we as a country throw him out for that next Thursday.
How much more renewable energy could we have had if the Conservatives hadn't set themselves against it?
At the beginning of their term in government, wind energy projects had roughly 2/3 success rate and 1/3 failure. By the time they'd finished, they were boasting that they'd reversed it to 1/3 success, 2/3 failure.
Could we as a country be nearly self-sufficient in energy, and what effect would that have on our balance of trade deficit?
Renewable energy and fighting climate change represent a massive economic opportunity. Our green economy employs 1 million people. That's as many people as the city. You know, this sector of our economy that's much vaunted by governments. In 2012, the last year for which figures exist, it contributed 128 billion to our economy. It was 30% of GDP growth in that year. So there's a massive opportunity in doing green things. It's not just about saving the planet and saving polar bears. Honestly, I believe that the only strong economy we can have is a green one going forwards, because the world isn't just running out of fossil fuels anymore. The debate has moved on. We're running out of the ability to burn them. We've got to keep them in the ground. And so we've got to make this fundamental shift. We're still in the steam age, really, in the way that we make electricity, because we're burning fossil fuels to make steam, to turn turbines, and we've just got to make that great leap into this new era of renewable energy.
What's the one thing the government could do that would really make a difference?
Something we call quantitative greening. And we were really looking at what's happened during the financial crisis, where we've been printing money, albeit electronically, and we've been giving it to our banks. at very low rates of interest in the hope that they would lend it to businesses and stimulate the economy, which they haven't really done. And it struck us that if we could repurpose this money and put it into the green economy, into green energy infrastructure, for example, we can make a massive difference. The boost to the economics of green energy from these low rates of interest and the availability of money would be just enormous. So the idea is for the Bank of England to fund green energy infrastructure projects through a version of quantitative easing.
Is there one single message that you want to send to the next government?
I would say focus on the green economy. You know, in the words almost of Bill Clinton, it's the green economy, stupid. That's our big opportunity.